This short film gives you an insight into the work that the University of Winchester Academy Trust Creativity Collaborative has been doing over the past 3 years as part of the Art Council's Creativity Collaboratives pilot programme.
We've been on this incredible journey that has enabled our teachers and our children to really kind of delve deep into what creativity actually really means, and that typical view that it's about the arts and it's about artistic things and drama and painting and those kind of traditional things actually has been kind of blown out of the water. And what we've been able to do is support our teachers and our pupils to really see that creativity is important in every aspect of our curriculum and way beyond our curriculum in terms of life. And that ability to be able to think more deeply, to come up with multiple ways to solve problems is actually really vital in everything we do across, beyond school.
Creativity is without doubt something that is missing in education at the moment, and I think I've identified that. And this course has really made that very clear. And we need to make sure that that is put back, because that is where outstanding teaching and learning and opportunities for those children is really going to flourish.
We've developed an explore, ideate, evaluate sort of cycle really, and they're sort of interrelated.
So there's really been a very important piece of co-creation gone on with all the teachers, with the project team, building a model that's worked in their own school contexts, and that's been really key. It's got to be nuanced, it's got to fit the different school contexts, so they've got to be able to take a model and own it and make it work for them.
By using the creative process, so giving the children more time to explore and really kind of delve into the subject that we're doing before we then introduce kind of a problem or a task to solve, and then kind of talking about the process in order to improve and create something that for them is a working product that they have got in their mind.
We had received a problem, didn't we, from Mary Reid?
And she needed something that goes on land and sea.
So we had to be, what habit did we use when we were looking at all of these different things?
Exploring and ideating.
Were we ideating at that point?
No, inquisitive.
Well, inquisitive, we had to ask lots of questions, didn't we? So that we could create the best vehicle or transport. So then we learnt about how things moved.
And then we drawed what things we were going to make, but we didn't make exactly the same.
No.
things.
And then, so what part of the process were we on there? What part of our creative process were we there? So
exploring.
We were still exploring, and then we were starting to ideate and create.
Imaginative.
And we had to be imaginative.
Then we gone to there.
And what did we do here?
Buy our stuff. We were inquisitive and...
Well, you were working together, weren't you?
And collaborative.
Collaborative. Yeah, that's right.
And then we got to making our stuff. Yeah, that's mine and Ed's book.
And when we were making things, what did we have to keep doing with our process?
We had to keep on changing it.
Improving it. And why did we have to keep improving it?
In the water, some of them didn't float.
So did we give up then?
No. They changed it a little bit and they made it float.
So what then were we being? We were being...
inquisitive and ideating and disciplined.
We had to be disciplined, didn't we?
So since being part of this project, I feel my teaching approach has completely changed. It's a whole new way of teaching. Instead of me being the main person to kind of teach everything to children, I now let go and give children the opportunity to explore, to ideate and evaluate, and to show and share their learning, their understanding in a way that they choose. through this creativity project, I've learnt that if you take the lid off of children's learning, but keep the parameters up, it keeps the children focused on what they need to do. That shows their thought process and enables them to be unique and outcomes to be different.
So there'll often be an inquiry-based approach, which involves lots of problem solving, lots of making connections and mind mapping. There's definitely more opportunities for children to what we call to walk in their shoes, whether that's being a geographer or a scientist or in English perhaps an author. So giving children those opportunities to, well, this is what a geographer does, and this is what an author, this is what it's like to be an author.
I think teaching is a career where we're always looking to learn from the latest pedagogy, latest research, and the nice thing about the project is that teachers have been really open to exploring some of the ideas around creativity and really thinking about the pedagogy and research around that.
How I've supported the teachers is by going into their classrooms, watching their children learn, watching the teaching happening. We then have time out to plan together, creating units of work in which we go back to that creative process of explore, ideate and evaluate, again opening up lots of opportunities for open-ended outcomes within the planning. I've had the teachers come and watch me do some lessons, and we've taken things back from that. We're always reflecting, and we'll then go and watch them again after we've tweaked some planning and talk about what worked, what didn't work. So it's been really lovely to see them sort of getting ideas from all sorts of backgrounds from each other.
Just making sure that their inquiry question is there, that are referring to the national curriculum to make sure that critical knowledge is in there alongside the creativity which will come out as we go through the unit.
We taught them floating and sinking and creating kind of amphibious vehicles in DT, and then they have created their own and modified and evaluated and changed them, and then they're out testing them in the water and then coming back in and tweaking it, and I need a glue gun and I need this because the glue keeps slipping off and the sellotape's not working.
It was through a geography project where we were drawing and creating maps of our school grounds. Some children who were very confident, very able, got their pieces of paper, drew maps, labelled them, added a key. And some of my children in my class who had a need would find that really difficult. But by allowing them to be creative and with them understanding that they can show their learning in different ways, they went and got the Lego blocks out and big wooden blocks, and they created a map, but a huge map on the carpets. And so both children, my more able and my special educational needs children, could achieve what I intended, but in different ways.
As you're getting ready for the next half term, you'll pick up the book to read in English specifically, and you'll have a look at the plans that exist already. And this just provided me with an opportunity to look through the creativity lens, if you like, and see how I could make that stamp on this unit, which, you know, on paper looked a bit dull. So with the help of Judy from Winchester University, we revamped the whole unit, and it was just giving the children opportunities. And I think this is the main difference, is we brought it to life right from the start. So we started exploring the concept of the characters in the book from the beginning, and straight away we created our own character, and the children were invested from the word go.
So we had a lot of role play mixed into the writing. So you would do some writing, but you would role play it, you would become the character, and you would experience it as the character, and then you would do the writing again. So that way you get the empathy and the connection, and they actually start to care about the character. And so we did the circus funfair one, where there was lots of creating characters who then were put in a particular position that they had to deal with how they would manage that position. So again, the same skills, the creative thinking and the evolution from one idea to another, but then expanding that so it comes to some big kind of great story at the end.
The key way in which I've been working with the schools and helping to coordinate the project is to really think about how we're going to gather evidence of the impacts that are being made from the point of view of the pupils, from the point of view of the teachers, from the point of view of the school leaders.
Within this project, I've seen the teachers relinquish some of their control and allow the children to kind of have ownership over their own learning and really feel that empowered to do things for themselves and to make changes for themselves through learning from really rich inquiries where there are real outcomes and authentic outcomes. Children are learning for a purpose, and children are enthused because they can see the purpose of their learning.
So the changes that I've seen with the schools I've been working with is the teachers now are providing opportunities for such an open-ended outcome. So rather than having a lid on the end outcome where lots of the end products look the same, teachers are now opening that up and allowing the children to have their own ideas within their outcome, which is enabling lots of opportunities for creative skills to be threaded throughout that process to get to that outcome.
They are a lot more resilient, they're happy to have a go and to keep going. Even, you know, from the age of 4, I'm seeing children who are making plans before they tackle an activity and reflecting, going back, changing things, whereas before they might have just had a go and then asked for an adult for help if they couldn't do something, even something as simple as cutting something out. Because we've been giving them the skills and the time to be able to practice those habits, children are a lot more independent now, they're a lot more resilient, they're having fun while they're doing things, and they're happy to take feedback and to go back and try again, make things better, and they're really proud of their outcomes now, whereas before they were just happy with what they'd done. Now they're really proud of themselves because they've had to go through the whole process to be able to get there. I think previously, when you think of creativity, you think of art, DT, those subjects that lend itself quite easily to creativity, whereas now I've realised that creativity comes in all areas of the curriculum, so you can feed creativity into maths, English, you know, not just DT, science, and sort of feed it in lots of different places so that the whole curriculum is now creative and in sort of incorporates those creative processes and habits that I wouldn't have necessarily thought to apply before.
My understanding of creativity has changed in understanding the deeper impact that it can have, that it isn't just creative subjects, such as art or drama or whatever, but actually it's deeper than that. It's a pedagogy, it's a way of teaching, it's a way of children broadening their understanding and their thinking skills to develop much deeper outcomes. And broader outcomes.
Now I understand that creativity and creative thinking can be taught to both children and adults, and everybody has the capacity to be creative thinkers, and we as teachers should nurture and nourish that and teach and encourage that within our classrooms.
The changes that I've seen as far as the teaching staff are concerned are, they've said to me, I've sat back and all the children, I can see them they're all just working together, they're problem solving. I sit back and I'm almost feel redundant. And that's great, because I want the children to work harder than the teachers. And that's what I see in the classrooms. I see a palpable sense of purposeful engagement. I see collaboration. I see problem solving. I see children excited about their learning, really excited.
Yeah, they know an awful lot more than we give them credit for. And by making the space actually in our curriculum to teach in this way and to learn in this way, we've uncovered lots of things that we wouldn't necessarily have known about our children, and we've been able to develop those kind of skills and that understanding to a much greater level. And that's been joyful to watch.
The ultimate legacy is that by the time the children leave us, they will be confident to think and learn in creative ways, and they can cross-transfer that to all aspects of their life moving forward, because learning isn't just about school. That's really, really important. It's not a one-off thing. This is an embedded practice that the children should be taking on for life, and that we need to keep going. We don't want to go back to how we used to present lessons. This must be, when you come and work at our school, this is how we expect you to plan and the opportunities we expect for you to give the children, and that will just be the culture of the school.
One of the key things we're really trying to do at the moment is actually collect lots and lots of examples of teachers' practice, and in a format that's going to be engaging for other teachers, so that we've actually got a record of all the different approaches to teaching for creativity in all the different subject areas that other teachers can pick up if they're interested in developing their teaching for creativity.
And we hope to be able to roll those resources out to other schools, and also invite other schools in to come and see all of our different schools and see what it's like to teach in this way, and just see how much it can benefit their pupils and the teachers as well.